So here we have Johnathan Gullis, Member of Parliament for Stoke-on-Trent North. Privately educated, shock, an ex-teacher who claims to be the voice of the people. A quick glance at his voting record says pretty differently, mind. A man who's constantly rambling on about a woke agenda and lefty lawyers, a staunch member of the ERG and pro-Brexit agenda, and apparently the immigration bill doesn't go far enough to undermine immigration. Let's see what he's got to say.
Because let's not forget that when we talk about these hotels, it is simply not appropriate, as I say, when people are losing their jobs, it's damaging the hospitality sector, it's damaging the tourism sector of our towns, of our cities, undermining confidence in the public of our ability to deliver on this policy. And there are disused army bases that could be used. I personally have no issue with porter cabins or tents being used at all. This is still perfectly acceptable accommodation that can be used in a short-term interim measure.
Where do you even start with this idiot? So of course you could say that the issue is pretty much by design from the Tory party to stoke a culture war before the next election, or simply that a processing centre in France could help mitigate the issue almost entirely. Or what about the fact that 3/4 of applications are granted? So most of these people would be allowed to stay and work and probably help the economy. According to the Bank of England, we've got a massive shortage of workers, so that will probably help. What about the fact that the society's view of immigration issues is intrinsically linked to how it's portrayed by the media, which leans heavily right, as we all know? Or what about the fact that the areas in the country with the least immigrants have the biggest problem with immigrants? Or maybe Johnathan and others like him see this as a last-ditch attempt to kind of save their seat in the next election, a kind of harder starboard tactic. I think all of that would be way too gracious, though. What I want to know is how the hell someone like this is even allowed to be in the House of Commons. How dehumanising is it to suggest that we should just stick these so-called illegal immigrants in tents? What a disgusting person. The system is clearly broken when we've got someone like Johnathan Gullis running the country. Lord help us.